Thank you guys. Welcome once again to this channel. If it is the first time you just come across this channel, remember to subscribe, like, comment, and also share. Uh, this platform, I know many people are not understanding some of the things that we are talking about, we are doing, but it is a good platform. At a time when we talk about many challenges, many countries pass through different challenges. But when we talk about the goodness of our country, it means that country has made some steps. And that is why when we talk about the lifestyle of some of the countries, we'll find the good those people are. So guys, just watch some of these clips, then I'll come up with more reaction.
You ever wonder how Africa remains exploited? Systems of corruption playing between political leaders, illicit businessmen, and actual governments. This is a prime example. Like, if you want to understand in a way some of the big challenges Africa faces in terms of what prevents us from moving forward, you should go watch this documentary. Governments that are supposed to be working for the people, healthcare, infrastructure, clean water, electricity, all of these things that we lack as African countries that are being called third world. Yeah. And here are the people who have that responsibility busy focusing on fattening their pockets. You cannot copy and paste that among how many African countries?
Not only how many African countries, but how many African commodities, right? This documentary is just talking about gold. Imagine the rest.
And today I would like to focus on corruption with all its faces. The face of foreign agents trying to influence our political system. The face of shady companies, of foundations abusing public money. And this is why in the coming year, the Commission will present measures to update our legislative framework for fighting corruption. We will raise standards on offences such as illicit enrichment, trafficking in influence, abuse of power, beyond the more classic offences such as bribery. And we will also propose to include corruption in our human rights sanctions regime, our new tool to protect our values abroad.
In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interests. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours. Number 8, never cross oceans for politicians. You may drown. And it goes on and on.
You know, Africans are tired. Africans are tired because they are being led by individuals or groups of individuals who do not have their interests at heart. They are engaged in activities that are inimical to the general interest of the people. The levels of theft and greed and wastage are high. And elections only give them the possibility of gaining a veneer of legitimacy. It used to be the case that coup d'etats were the ways in which this was happening, particularly in the 1960s. Then there was a lull. After the coup d'etat, then we had the guerrilla movements, as we saw in Uganda in 1986. Rwanda, of course, is unique in 1994. Fighting corruption is a dangerous thing. It is a dangerous thing because the politicians don't want corruption to be fought. They speak against it at public fora, but let me tell you, they don't mean what they are saying. I had the honor and privilege of serving as director of an anti-corruption body in Kenya. And I remember many meetings that I held with senior government officials, and I can tell you they were not interested. Not those in government, not those in opposition. I remember at one time during the administration of President Kibaki, I sought and obtained audience with him.
I saw a video where the leader of the opposition was telling Jamaicans that if he is elected, he will free up beach access to all Jamaicans. So you can imagine my shock when I learned that the same Mark Golding sent a candidate into Portland that currently has control over the Boston Beach and is refusing to relinquish his control, going as far as taking the government to court to make sure the people of Boston and Portland do not have access. Hypocrisy at its finest. And then the candidate out by St. Thomas that is squatting on government lands. Squatting on government lands as a political representative is telling people that he has been ordained to lead. Ordained to lead what? And what group of people? Using what standard of life as an example? Because we expect our political leaders to lead by example, and surely squatting on government lands without remorse and encouraging other people to do that cannot be the standard that we expect to see. I'm curious to know, what is the internal process that the PNP uses to select its candidates? Because let me tell you, the bar is in hell with these guys, you know.
Back long time. That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by businessmen to go on holiday. Just on holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
That the people can have trust and confidence in, that can rescue Jamaica from the corruption and the mire of bad governance in which Jamaica is now enmeshed. Only the People's National Party can do that under my leadership, and I plan to deliver that for the people of Jamaica so we can move forward and address the very real issues that our people are facing. Issues of the cost of living and the struggle for survival. The poor nutrition represented by the food insecurity of 55% of our people. The school system failing our students. Where over 30% of our students leave primary school illiterate. Unable to do basic arithmetic. And the housing.
We're gathered here today for a worthy cause. I want to say up front that we come in peace. We are an orderly party.
When the JLP is in opposition, they want to do everything to stamp out corruption. When the PNP is in opposition, they want to do everything to stamp out corruption. This JLP administration, they were the ones that pushed through the Integrity Commission Act and made it become a reality. And it seemed like for the first time, Jamaica was really serious about holding our parliamentarians accountable. Wrong. When the Integrity Commission bill was passed, Prime Minister Andrew Holness hailed it as a win for Jamaica and said it would serve as a measure of accountability for parliamentarians and public officials. So how did we go from this to this? In fact, it didn't take long for the same administration that ushered in the Integrity Commission to then turn around and call the agency a rogue organization. So it seems like this JLP administration only wanted to give the impression that they were going to address corruption. They didn't actually want an Integrity Commission that held them accountable.
But today, Lord, we come in your name and we say, Lord, rise up leaders like Moses who led the people. And we are marching on to progress. Oh, we are marching on to progress. Oh, we care not what whenever I say and what they say we are.
You know, the government has done a lot to fight against corruption because I believe that Jamaica is a corrupt society and has to change, right? We have to be a part of the change.
And that is why, Chris, the Prime Minister needs to clear up this matter as to why his statutory filings to the Commission have not been certified.
Look, if the Prime Minister is the person who filed.
Yes. And he would have been advised. No, Chris. Yes. He would have been advised. He would have been asked. Yes. Explain A, B, yes. or C. Why is it that we? Oh, let me finish. He would have been advised. What is the problem? The commissioners. Hold on. Let me tell you. The commissioners cannot speak because of the gag clause. They cannot speak. Yes. So the only person who can speak to the people of Jamaica who are being fed, narrative now and seeing, But wait, what happened with Andrew? Why am I always in problems with the Integrity Commission? Why this report? Why the Integrity Commission can't sign off on him statutory filings? Yes. The Prime Minister needs to clear it up.
The best person to clarify same would have been the Integrity Commission. Because you filed, Cliff, you filed to me.
Well, he should then tell the commissioners, go ahead and tell the people of Jamaica.
You can't do that, Cliff.
Why can't do it?
It's to put a gag order on these entities, like the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
It's from both sides.
Yes.
It's PNP and sign off on it.
And Chris, in light of that, he can. He's not subject to any gag. It concerns him.
Must use a veto power.
No. I'm saying it concerns. No, Chris. Chris, you're better than that. Don't play cute with me. The Prime Minister is not subject to any gag order. The commissioners are. The Prime Minister is not. It's his filings. It's him who is taking a beating in the public square about the perception and the rumors. Yes? Why him thing can't sign off?
Look, there's two things that you and I will agree on. And I agree with you. It needs to be clarified. You and I might disagree on who's supposed to clarify it. I am believing that the person who you file to are the one who's supposed to give the clarification. So we disagree to agree on that. But here's my other point, Cliff.
The commissioner can't do that.
You know the good thing
commissioners
about it,
can't.
the Prime Minister, in his capacity as the Prime Minister, did not do what we are expecting from some of these corrupt people, is to go to the court and say to the court, file an injunction and prevent this report from coming out to the public. You remember what happened a few years ago with similar reports from Member of Parliament? Let's move the Prime Minister cap now and narrow it down to 2 members of Parliament, Lisa Hanna and Ian Hill, who went to the court and took out an injunction and bar a report of similar content from coming to the public. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sir.
When the Prime Minister, in his capacity, did not take such action, it tells me that there's hope for this country. There's hope for Jamaica.
And
because he could have easily gone down the same route and said, look, I don't want anybody to know what is in this report.
Listen up, Chris. Yeah? The Prime Minister occupies the most powerful office in the land.
And he's not above reproach, Mr. Hughes.
No, he's not.
And I hope you will
I
hope you relate that to Mr. Bolden. Because if he intends to be Prime Minister of Jamaica and thinking that he's going to be above reproach, that is wrong. So
well,
that message needs to get to Mr. Bolden, Mr.
Well,
Hughes.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
I'm speaking about Prime Minister Holness now, who is on the front pages in the news from yesterday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? And while I am of the view that this report is no smoking gun, there's no case there in my
I
opinion.
agree with you on that.
Right?
Yes.
However, as somebody who observes what happens in this country,
yes,
yes, the reality is there's this perception that this report is fueling, that will put fire or oil on this report.
Yes.
Yeah? And it has to do with the Prime Minister's filings.
Cliff, you see that word you used earlier? That perception, Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
But it can't be no more than perception. It can't be no more than perception right now.
Remember, one of the most successful infrastructure programs in this country was JDIP.
Chris,
yes,
come on. You're drawing red herrings now. You're drawing red herrings now, Chris.
No, man.
Yes,
But
you are.
Mr. Hughes, look here, what I'm saying,
Why you can't come to the position that, listen, the Prime Minister has an obligation to clear up this matter?
Of course I do.
Okay, good.
Of course you're on the same page with that concern.
All right.
Of course.
Good.
But equally, Mr. Hughes, we must recognize that there's an issue when these entities go out there, Integrity Commission, Integrity Action, and make these broad allegations, Mr. Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
It had serious effects, and that is what we must talk about.
No.
And that is perhaps
we talk about that
side,
and all the relevant matters. We must talk about all the relevant matters. We must speak about all the relevant matters.
Yes, and that's
not
why
some,
when we have
not
these
cherry
reports,
pick
Mr.
some.
No, man, I don't want to pick any. I want us to deal with it wholesomely because it is sad that on the eve of such a successful budget presentation and Jamaica's position economically, we are here talking about something 17 years old, $350,000. I could pay that in my sleep.
Hmm?
Who wants to teach $350,000 or $1.5 million?
Good point. Good point. Good point. Yes.
Mr. Hughes, have yourself a great
All right, Chopper.
Thank you, brethren, and my fellow people across the world and across Jamaica. I hope you have seen how some of the things that are making our nations not to prosper, not to develop. Actually, we have first those countries that are developed, and we have these third world countries that are developing. And the enemy that is affecting us is corruption. And when we talk about corruption, citizens are being hurt, but most leaders don't see if corruption is something that undermine the development of our country. And we have seen some of the countries that have fought corruption. Their citizens are doing very good. They are performing some tasks so that they fight corruption in their nations. And this we have Jamaica. Jamaica is I think it's a country that we can say it was poor. It was poor, but through what they do, actually they are fighting corruption. Even if there are some of the challenges they are facing, disasters that they encounter like Melissa, those are some of the challenges they are facing. But they are performing very well when it comes in the part of corruption. So I know at the times even those white nations, USA, Canada, America, they are still fighting. But corruption is something that making them not to prosper, not to go far. But today I will talk about what can we do as citizens so that we can advise our leaders. They can also hear us in fighting corruption, because the big enemy of development is corruption, and most developed countries are facing the challenges because of corruption. Many leaders, when they get into power, what they first go in, they start maliciousing, start corruption in their nations. So, my brethren, what are some of the things we can do to stop this kind of corruption? And some of the things that we have learned from our neighbors, Jamaican people, they are cool. We normally say they are bold. They are bold. They speak boldly. They don't hide anything. We have seen Burkina Faso, they are doing the same. They speak one language so that they can be able to fight corruption. Corruption, by the way, is something that is eating many nations. It's making many nations not to go far, not to prosper. It has made, actually, you can find like some nations, they have resources, but those resources are with a few people that who own those resources. So if we can come out and speak one language, corruption will people will be afraid to engage in corruption. And also when we teach our young people and our people that corruption is not something that can lead to development, so that if you get into power, the only thing that you need to do is to help your people, but not to involve in corruption. So we can teach them, and we can also have that unity. As I have seen Our brothers from Jamaica, they are practicing unity. And unity has made Jamaicans most, many countries across the world, they are speaking about Jamaica because when you see their flag, it embraces unity, and they do things common. This also language, and what is making many people to indulge in corruption is tribalism. Tribalism has made many people to indulge in corruption, especially these African nations, because I am from that religion, that tribe, so it has made many people to indulge in corruption. But if we come with a language, for example, this patois language that is spoken by the Jamaicans, actually has promoted most. Imagine in Jamaica, it's the country that has different tribes. Many people from Jamaica come from all many countries. We have Indian Jamaicans. We have Chinese. We have Japanese. These are from different nations, but because they have been connected with one language, they see one each and every person as one. They are like the same people. They are one nation. They speak one language which is better, so they can involve in corruption. Instead, okay, in Jamaica, I cannot say that fully Jamaica has full corruption, because there are some of the people who are who have been associated with corruption. But actually, there are some of the things that has helped Jamaica, and also unity has made Jamaica when you see those who are in the leaders, they have united with those who are not in leaders. Those you normally say they are low class. They are working together. So at a times, everyone all over the world, they want to know. Like this that world countries, they want to develop. But actually, my case, if we can, they don't know how to fight corruption. They don't know how the enemy. You can give somebody 100 shilling, like in our nation, say in East Africa, we use shillings, we use euros. But these people, instead of presenting those euros how like how they were being given, they will deduct something, or you will ask for a price so that I can give you that euro. Like now, we have those who are doing online business. Before I give you something, you need to give me a price, even transaction. So it has led to many countries they don't develop, including our country, Jamaica. Corruption has made them not to develop. And that is why I have come to say that my people across the world, just help us. We normally learn from other people. We have been seeing some of people who normally go to play, those players who are in the field. when you see a player in a field is playing bad, it is easy to correct. But when you have been given that chance, you will not play the same as that person is playing. But those are instructions that we normally do can make people feel that they feel actually have been corrected here. So we need to change. And I am matching our leaders. I am matching our communities. Let us embrace that love language, that communication, so that we can teach our people how we can relate, how we can have that that unity, how we can now make our people not to involve in corruption, because actually something that is letting our nation down is corruption, and many countries across the world are starving by poverty because of corruption. They have resources, they have many things in their nation, but corruption has made them not to prosper. So, as we talk, we have these white nations. We have USA, we have Canada, Jamaica, Britain. These are good countries, but also they are fighting corruption, and they are suffering because of corruption. So, guys, I urge that let us interact so that we can have that some of the keys that will help us fight this corruption in our nation, fight this corruption in our third world countries, even those developed countries. They are suffering because of corruption. So if we don't have that lessons, don't have that clear view of how we can be able to fight the corruption, actually our generation that is coming will suffer. So guys, just drop your comment so that we can also learn, we can also have that view how we can fight corruption. What are some of the things we can use to fight corruption? I have said that unity can make us fight corruption. Language can make us fight corruption. And there are other many things. So guys, just drop your comment in the comment section so that we can learn more, so we can have that clear picture. We can teach most of the leaders. Actually, leaders there doesn't know, but we can have that clear picture on how we can teach these leaders what are the strategic things they can use so that they can fight corruption in their nation, not only in Jamaica, not only in African nations, but worldwide. Just drop your comment, and if you pass through this channel, just subscribe, like, share, and I will appreciate. And we shall meet in the next video. Thank you guys, until next time.